Hey, hello folks. My name is Kyle, and I've been asked by the folks of Mayday Games to give a honest local gamers review of their new bag that they're bringing to Kickstarter. And I'll admit I've never done a video review of this type before, but you know, it's always great to help out a local game company, especially one that produces such fine products like game sleeves and their crokinole boards, which I'm sure many people know of. And I just want to give my honest thoughts on the bag and kind of the pros and cons I've seen of it, and just give my honest review. You know, it's a very large bag, but not as large as some others on the market. But I'll switch to a first-person view and show how this bag, the features of it, and then give my honest thoughts. All right, so here's the kind of the bag. I do have it full of some of my own games. Probably the first thing you might notice is this really neat mat holder when you're not using it for mats. It's got one on each side. You can use it just for holding your drinks or whatever, or hold two mats on it. No other bag on the market has that feature. I've had other bags that I still use, but you know, the mats are always a difficult thing to carry, and seeing that, it's a very nice feature on that. In the top here, have kind of nice little just storage for just miscellaneous things, little baggy holders in there. Just kind of holding small games or just loose items. Have the front here, just holding other things, like if you're, if you do a lot of RPGs or something, you can hold like all your dice and whatnot there, or just whatever you need to hold. And what's really nice on this is it drops down like that and lets you access all the different games there. And I just threw several from my collection in there just to kind of try it out. And but as you can see, lots of room. In fact, I have room for a small box if I really wanted to try to squeeze it in there. But that's, four games, three of which are big boxes. One Ticket to Ride size box, and big ones. If you're just running Ticket to Ride boxes, like these, you could hold quite a few more games. So definitely a lot of variety to roll with. And then when you have that zipped up, there's three primary ways of carrying the bag. The first is this guy, which at first I thought I'd be concerned of how it's tugging, especially when you got a lot of weight in there. But the folks at Mayday, they've said that they've tested it extensively and actually have reinforced all the fabric here and stuff. But another way, carry it kind of like a regular duffel, which I think a lot of folks, if you're just going from the car to your game night, this would be the primary way people will carry it, just as a duffel. And thanks to the strap there for the game mat, it's not going to fall out and get in the dirt and mud and whatnot. And it's, easy to pick up, which is nice. And then probably the last way, which a lot of bags have been doing this, is the backpack mode. Oh, and I forgot to mention, there is a fourth way. If you go to a lot of cons and stuff, game cons, you can fit it in your roller bag with that little guy there. So there's actually four ways of carrying the bag. The top handle, kind of duffel bag mode, I call it. Strapping it through your luggage, or backpack mode. I actually, from my experience with this bag, I think the backpack mode is my favorite, because the bag is not, it's big, but it's not, it's not going to be so large you can't fit through doorways with it if you're carrying it. The only thing I kind of wish was, if it was a little more padding in these, make it a little more comfortable if you're carrying it, especially if you are doing, like if you took this bag to Gen Con, and you're carrying it all day long on your back, you'd start feeling it after a while. So that's kind of just the overview of the bag. Let's go back down and give you my final thoughts. Okay. So what do I think of this bag? I think it's excellent. It's, fantastic bag. My go-to bag for many years has, and actually it was, I was one of the first Kickstarters for it, was with board game tables, now called All Play. It was their first iteration of their game bag, which unfortunately had the plastic clips, which I found that broke on me, and of course it was well past the warranty point at this point in time. Wish it was metal, but I've been very impressed with this bag. I haven't had it very long, unfortunately. They, like I mentioned in the first part of the video, that Mayday, they just asked, they wanted to work with local gamers instead of the big studios. They just wanted, honest people's opinions on the bag, and I'm happy to offer that. I mean, is it a 10 out of 10? No, there's a couple things I'm not a fan of, but they're minor quibbles, really, in comparison to what I've been dealing with on other bags. Like I mentioned, my all play bag, board game table bag, it's almost too big. Like if I overload it with games, it can get heavy. It can get really heavy, and I'm afraid to do the backpack mode with that, because I'm afraid the strap will break, will fall, and damage my boxes, which no one wants. And it's worked great, but I think this new bag that's coming out, it offers things that aren't on the market, like the holding the mats. It's genius. It is such a simple idea, using something that already exists, which is cup holders, and just adding a strap to hold it in place. I mean, it's so simple. It's crazy no one's thought of it beforehand. That's, I think, the number one selling point for me, because I have a lot of game mats, and sometimes I don't even take them because they're just too unwieldy or too difficult to move around, because they're flopping all over. You don't want them to get hurt, because neoprene is very tricky sometimes. Then the different ways of carrying it. The duffel bag mode's nice. The handle on top, I'm not a fan of, except, when I was loading it in the back of my truck, behind the driver's seat, I was using that handle to get it in and out, because it's very narrow behind the seat of my truck to fit a bag. And so that handle definitely serves a point of getting it in and out of a vehicle, which is nice. But the backpack mode, I think, would be the main way I would carry this bag. Like I mentioned in the one part, I wish there was more padding in these. Granted, this is a prototype, so the Kickstarter's coming out soon. I know they're trying to launch it here shortly. I'm not sure the exact dates, but there's still time to make improvements. So that's one improvement I would like to see, is more padding in these, make it more comfortable. Granted, it's being sharply attached here. I don't know if you can do much on the very top there, but maybe just 1 millimeter more of padding might be the trick. And most folks aren't going to be carrying it all very long anyway. So again, it's a minor quibble. Probably my only complaint is that. And then there was inside the main bag area, there was this little kind of divider that Velcros in. You don't need that. I don't see the point of that. But other than that, this is a fantastic bag. It's definitely going to make the other companies jealous, I think, just because of how well designed and heavy duty it is. I notice it's very durable, and even I was talking with the president of Mayday. He's the one that was trying to spearhead people to review the bag, and he said in their warehouse they threw one of these bags by the straps with 100 pounds of sleeves in it, and drove it with the forklift just by the straps. And until it failed, which it took a little bit of time from what he said. So that's pretty impressive. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend carrying 100 pounds of sleeves anytime, but if you had to, you certainly could. So again, my name's Kyle, just local gamer, you know, nothing fancy. Just want to give my honest thoughts on this, and I think it'd be worth your money. You know, definitely worth the investment, and I recommend it. So, you know, best of luck to the Mayday guys on their Kickstarter, and I hope everyone has a great day. Bye now.